amidst talk, as usual, viewers, amidst talk of India being bitten by majoritarianism of the RSS kind, amidst allegations of bigotry by Hindus, about growing Islamophobia, the RSS chief has come out and assured all Muslim brothers and sisters, children, parents, for anyone, that they have nothing to fear here. Remember what Amir Khan said a few years ago, viewers, that he was feeling extremely, extremely insecure. Children he didn't want to see his children growing up in this country. Well, Mohan Bhagwat says that, look, you have nothing to fear in this country. All of us, whether it is Hindus or people in the RSS or communists or Muslims, everyone must walk in the interest of pacifism, the non-violent path. And this is very important. He's reinforced democracy, secularism, and he said that the core of the Hindu philosophy is a pacific one. And he said, he talks about the concept of bhav, the essence of being a Hindu. And he says, when we speak of Hindu...
इस्लाम को कोई खतरा नहीं है. हाँ, हम बढ़े, हम एक समय राजा थे, हम फिर से राजा बनना, ये छोड़ना पड़ेगा. हम ही सही, बाकी सब गलत, ये छोड़ना पड़ेगा. हम अलग है, इसलिए हम अलग ही रहेंगे, हम सबके साथ मिलकर नहीं रह सकते, ये छोड़ना पड़ेगा. किसी को भी छोड़ना पड़ेगा. ऐसा सोचने वाला कोई हिंदू है, उसको भी छोड़ना पड़ेगा. कम्युनिस्ट है, उनको भी छोड़ना पड़ेगा.
So, viewers, I mean, this is the most universally secular message you can give out to anybody, that we all have to stop being supremacists. But viewers, no danger to Islam were his words, but should shun supremacist narrative. Now, this has become a massive controversy. Some people like Owaisi and company, would you like to listen? Let's play out Mr. Owaisi's response. He says, who is Bhagwat to lecture all of us and this, that, the other? Though, viewers, they're constantly attacking Bhagwat, so he must be somebody. But anyhow, listen to him.
कोई सुपीरियर होने का कहां क्लेम कर रहे हैं? हम तो बोल रहे हैं कि इक्वालिटी दो हमारी इक्वल राइट्स को इक्वालिटी ऑफ सुप्रीमेसी समझ रहे हैं. असल सुप्रीमेसी तो आपकी है, आप समझ रहे हैं कि हिंदू राष्ट्र है.
No, I don't know what Bhagwat means. What is meant by supremacy? Law of the land, rules of the land, everybody is going to follow. In Islam, there's nothing like supremacy.
Okay, those are cross-section of remarks, all hounding Bhagwat for saying that we must shun supremacy. I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan, also a former VC of MANNU, Chancellor Firoz Bakht Ahmed. But first, Dr. Ranganathan, yes, a quick point.
Yes, Rahul, no, honestly, I really don't know what all this brouhaha is about. Islam prides itself in being supremacist, prides itself in othering those who are from other religions. In fact, every true Muslim is taught from birth that he or she is superior to a non-Muslim, and that is the reason why it is every Muslim's duty to convert non-Muslims to Muslims. So what's the issue here? That's why I say it is not Dr. Mohan Bhagwat, but rather those outraging on him who are Islamophobic. That is, they fear Islam. They fear to bring out the orders and the commandments of their holy book in its entirety on Jews, Christians, polytheists, homosexuality, apostasy, heresy, dress code, wife beating, blasphemy, because they fear being called illiberal and hypocrites. Muslims say it with pride. I'm sorry. They say it with pride, the following verse. No one has the right to be worshipped but Allah, 40:62. Is that not supremacist? Polytheists are the worst of creatures, 98:6. Worse than us. Is that not supremacist? Fight against those who do not believe in Islam, 2:221. Al-Kufr Milatun Wahida. You know what that means? Disbelievers are one nation, separate from us. Is that not othering? Is that not being supremacist? Do not forget that disbelievers as allies of one another, 873. Do not make disbelievers guardians, 551. Do not take disbelievers as friends unless they convert, and kill them if they refuse, 489. And talking of exclusivism and supremacy, Islam absolutely condemns homosexuality through the Quran, 26, 165, 66, 780, 85, 27, 55, and Hadith, Bukhari 72, 774, Dawud 4447, Tirmidhi 1456. Quote, Whoever you find doing the action of homosexuality of the people of Lut, execute the one who does it and the one to whom it is done, unquote. And Jews, what can I say? Jews have been called the worst of creatures, 98.6, 855, condemned to hellfire, 455, 98.6, called apes, 265, 7, 166, led by Satan, 460, eternally cursed, 447, transformed into apes and pigs and slaves of Taghut, 560. And by the way, just 30 seconds, a century before Dr. Mohan Bhagwat, someone else called Muslim supremacist, I quote, Islam is a closed corporation and the distinction that it makes between Muslims and non-Muslims is a very real, very positive and very alienating distinctions. The brotherhood of Islam is not the universal brotherhood of man. It is brotherhood of Muslims for Muslims only. There is a fraternity, but its benefit is confined to those within that corporation. For those who are outside the corporation, there is nothing but contempt and enmity. Islam, therefore, can never allow a true Muslim to adopt India as his motherland and regard a Hindu as his kith and kin, unquote. You know who said these words? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Was he a Sanghi?
Danish Qureshi, when B.R. Ambedkar has said what Mr. Bhagwat is saying, that let's give up a supremacist mindset, and he not just talked about Muslims, he said whether it is Hindus or even communists. Why are you going after him? He's saying the right thing. If you all believe that we are the only ones, then how will we live together, sir? And there have been people who broke away from India, formed Pakistan because they said we can't live with Hindus. This is a fact. Why did they say it? Qureshi Saab.
Okay. Now come to the point. First of all, what B.R. Ambedkar has given a constitution to India, which is the supreme for entire nation, and we follow that. That is the one thing. First of all, cap to the B.R. Ambedkar Sahab. Today we are talking that why did Mohan Bhagwat says, "Arey unko rehna hai, rahe." Why? How he can say that rehna hai? Rahul, can I ask you that if you want to stay, आपको रहना है तो रहें, या अगर ये करें या अगर वो करें? देखिए, problem with that entire statement is that if Mohan Bhagwat want to state something, he has to give quote to the Swayam Sevak of his organization instead of the Muslim of the country. We have the constitutional right, and that is sufficient for us. If the co-panelist who was talking about the Surah of Quran and Hadith, I think he need to go to the any expert of Islam who can explain that what is the difference between what he is talking and what is the belief of the entire Hindu religion. I don't want to go in that. But the thing is that nobody has. Rahul, may allow to complete.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
बोलिए.
Qureshi साहब, please. Qureshi साहब, 5 सेकंड. बस ये आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं.
जी.
When we are talking of Islam being, considered supreme and talking of supremacy, आप ये बता दीजिए ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह का क्या मतलब है?
सुनिए, मैं बताता हूं सुनिए, आज सवाल ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह पर है ही नहीं, आज सवाल इस पर है, सुनिए देखिए ऐसे मत करिए आप, सुनिए, आज सवाल इस पर है कि मोहन भागवत जी ने कैसे कहा कि अगर वो चाहें तो रहें. कैन आई से यू दैट इफ यू वांट टू, अगर आप चाहें तो रहें.
नहीं,
आप बताइए तो कैसे कोई कहेगा मेरे जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट्स है. सुनिए सर, सुनिए
एक मिनट, one second, gentlemen, 1 second.
Let me balance both these gentlemen.
Let former VC of MANNU, Chancellor.
मेरा DNA अलग है, मेरा DNA अलग है.
नहीं सर, आपका कुछ नहीं है. आप बात तो सुनिए. पहले तो मैं आपको जरा सिंपल बात बता देता हूं. And this is what Mr. Bhagwat said. The simple truth is this: Hindustan shall remain Hindustan. There is no harm to the Muslims living today in Bharat. If they wish to stick to their faith, they can. If they want to return to the faith of their ancestors, they may. It is entirely their choice. He has not said कैसे रहना है, क्यों रहना है, कहाँ रहना है. He said it's your choice. आप पे छोड़ दिया है. There is no such stubbornness amongst Hindus. Islam has nothing to fear.
Rahul,
मेरी बात तो सुन लीजिए. वो भी आपके जैसे एक citizen है.
मोहन भागवत.
He is also a citizen of this country. He has a point of view.
बोलिए. नहीं,
Do
तो
you
वो
think
अपने
he
लिए
should
बोले
not have
ना,
a point
वो
of
अपने
view?
लिए बोलिए, वो अपने लिए बोलिए, मैं किसी और के मजहब के लिए हिदायत दूंगा, वो
यही तो
अच्छा
प्रॉब्लम है, यही तो प्रॉब्लम
नहीं,
है,
राहुल मैं किसी और के मजहब
यही
के
तो
लिए
प्रॉब्लम है,
वो बेहतर रहेगा,
यही तो
बताइए। तो
प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि in your worldview, sir, in your worldview, you do not think anyone is qualified, and I'm speaking about people with your mindset, qualified to differ with you. You don't think them capable or
okay,
qualified.
you will not talk about the people mindset
Let
like
me bring
Mr.
in.
Mohan Bhagwat.
Let me bring in the Chancellor. Chancellor साहब, फिरोज भक्त अहमद साहब, कुरैशी साहब क्या कह रहे हैं आज? मैंगल कैसे कर रहे हैं? The words of Mr. Bhagwat. Please respond, sir. And I want to ask you, isn't it prescribed that there are two states of being, Darul Islam and Darul Harb? Am I wrong?
Thank you very much. Times now, and Rahul Bhai, to have invited me here. And a very, very humble request with my folded hands to my learned friends. They should not, in fact, heckle me. I'll just take 2 or 3 minutes and I'll say whatever I had to say.
Ji.
Now, I intend to balance between Professor Ranganathan and Danish. Both are entitled to speak whatever they want to say about their religion or even about Islam, because Dr. Ranganathan is a highly learned man. He knows a lot about Islam. Now, having said that, let me tell you one thing. Whatever Ranganathan ji said about Islam, maybe it is his study. I am not challenging that at all. Now, after having said that, let me just a minute. Let me complete. I requested, please, nobody should heckle me. Danish Saab, please do not become a foghorn. Let me complete.
Why are you not allowing Mr. Ahmed to speak? आप डरते क्यों हैं?
Let me complete.
आप डर क्यों रहे हैं?
Just a minute, Danish Saab. एक मिनट रंगानाथन जी, आप यू आर अ लर्नेड प्रोफेसर, जेएनयू से आप इतने काबिल हैं, मेरी बात सुन लीजिए.
वो तो कुछ नहीं
नाउ
कह रहा.
इंडिया इज अ कंट्री who will allow both Professor Ranganathan as well as Danish to say whatever they want to say. Nobody. Now I am coming
Mr.
to.
Ahmed, I want to ask you on this point. Why then does Qureshi and Owaisi object to Mr. Mohan Bhagwat saying something?
I am coming to that. You have asked me a question. I was coming on to that exactly, Rahul ji. See, whatever Dr. Mohan Bhagwat has said today, that is actually the voice of sanity and the voice of reason.
Thank you.
That is also the voice which says, like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. That is that voice. Right? And Mr. Mohan Bhagwat has been saying these things not for the last 8 years, since BJP came into power. He has been saying this for a long time, that without the contribution of Muslims, India cannot be imagined. He has been, just a minute, let me, and he was large-hearted enough to have gone to a madrasa and to have met Chief Imam of India, Maulana Umair Ilyasi. Now, this is what real India is. You know, लास्ट 5 सेकंड्स मैं कुरैशी साहब आपको, तमाम जो मुसलमान भाई मेरे सुन रहे हैं, मैं एक बात कहना चाहूँगा. मुसलमानों के लिए हिंदुस्तान से बेहतर मुल्क और हिंदू से बेहतर दोस्त कोई नहीं है. हिंदुओं के लिए भी कहना चाहूँगा, इस देश के 90-95% मुसलमान संस्कारी हैं, राष्ट्रवादी हैं, दे आर नेशनलिस्ट, दे आर पैट्रियोटिक. इंडिया इज नॉट दारुल हरब, इंडिया इज दारुल अमन, एज वेरी राइटली पुट बाय मौलाना अबुल कलाम आजाद while he was talking to a journalist after the independence of India. और आखिर में एक मिनट, and सुनो, प्रोफेसर रंगनाथन
यहाँ पर आना चाहते हैं तो आप सही कह रहे हैं.
Being a Muslim, practicing Muslim, I did not get hurt at all by what you said about Islam. But I would say about Hinduism that all the Hindus, they are calm, cool and composed, like cucumber. And I salute Hindu religion.
Let me say one thing now. 1 second. Sanjay Jha is raising his hand. Doctor, 1 second. Let him also have let him have his say. 1 second. Sanjay Jha, I just want to ask you, we are talking about tolerance tonight, right? We're talking about Rahul Gandhi, who is leading a Bharat Jodo Yatra. Now, he's gone and embraced everybody, even hate-spewing pastors and other supremacists who have cut up cows to hurt sensitivities. And he said that I did this to understand those people. When is he going to hug Mohan Bhagwat and understand Mohan Bhagwat? Clearly there needs to be that too. And that will be then Bharat Jodo. वो उनको क्यों नहीं अच्छे लगते, ये आप मुझे समझा दीजिए. एंड अगर सबकी बात सुननी है, समझनी है, तो मोहन भागवत जी की भी बात सुन लीजिए, समझ लीजिए.
Yep.
Rahul, I will answer you in 30 seconds.
Good.
I think Rahul Gandhi or anybody will be delighted to give Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, whose RSS has been inspired by the Nazi playbook and the world knows about it.
No, not at
if
all.
Mr.
Wrong.
Mohan Bhagwat were to apologize
It is
for
your
what
point of view.
Pragya Singh Thakur talked about when she mentioned about weaponizing people to take on, and we all know who she was targeting in the religious communities. Number two, will Mr.
What
Mohan
about
Bhagwat
15
kindly
minute में
comment
पुलिस को हटा
on
लो,
the
हम देख
rapists
लेंगे.
of Bilkis Banu
What
who have
about
been
demonizing
released
of Hindu
and
gods
the
and
BJP
goddesses
government
by
in the
Younger
center
Owaisi?
endorsed it? Will Mr. Mohan Bhagwat comment on these
Okay,
Dharam
okay,
Sansas
okay.
when they
Look,
called
I
for
asked
the
a very
genocide?
straight question. आप
Please
love की
answer
बात
that.
करते हैं, आपका
Please
love भी
answer that.
selective
Ask
है.
this
How can that be
Vice
possible?
Chancellor to kindly answer that and ask Mr. Ranganathan.
Who is the othering
whose history
force?
is quite warped. Whose history
Sanjay.
is quite warped.
Okay.
Now,
Everyone's history is
Rahul,
warped.
Can I
Okay,
please
very
take
quick.
5 seconds?
Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, 30 seconds. I need to wrap.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much. You know how much, Dr. Bakht, I admire you. I
Yeah.
mean, you're a true gentleman, and I really look up to you, as much as I look up to Danish Saab. But I have to say this: I knew that you're going to call Darul Aman and take Abdul Kalam Azad's name. Let me quote him verbatim. Quote: "This is Maulana Azad saying." Quote, "Be extremely hard against kafirs, but extremely kind amongst ourselves. All relationships in the world can break down. Father can turn against son, brother against brother, mother can shun her child, but the relationship of a Muslim with a Muslim can never be severed,
Professor
Thank
Ranganathan,
you.
please do not quote don't be selective in, there is
Ab
also
selective
lakum
aa gaya.
dinakum waliya din in Quran, in the
selective
Holy
aa gaya.
Quran.
Okay, gentlemen, I've run out of time. Look, no one wants to.
Lakum dinakum waliya din
Let's take.
तुम्हें तुम्हारा दिन मुबारक, हमें
Yes,
हमारा दिन मुबारक.
yes.
If Maulana Azad
Ahmed
had
Saab,
written that,
let
I will
me
not side
say
with that.
today, Mr.
Don't
Ahmed
be
is
selective.
speaking on behalf of a large number
मेरे
of
को सब
Muslims,
hate करते हैं
and if he is today speaking for Aman, Darul Aman, we should respect it. I just hope that others like Owaisi and company listen for once. I leave it at that.